Good morning, audio check as usual. Audio check, waiting for confirmation from the chat that the audio is working. Good. Audio suspect. Okay, so audio is on. Let me turn this off, otherwise I will start to get feedback. Okay, so welcome to this new episode. I was just talking in the chat, and actually has nothing to do with pit stops. I just thought the Photoshop edit that I did with the bug doing the pit stop was funny, and that's it. But it's not really what I'm having problem at the moment. Things are not really looking good. At this stage, it was a bit of expected that putting more aggressivity into the AI will start to generate possible problems around, and that's typical of the development of the AI, because what is happening is that I look at a certain situation, a certain race with a certain car, and when you see a problem, you sort of come up with a solution to that problem, but that solution has no guarantee to be actually valid for all the other cars and all the other tracks. So what is happening is that especially when you start to get excited about things, start adding features and so on in the AI, and then you just go to another track, you do a race with another car, and it's mayhem. And so at the moment the situation is that it's a matter of trying as many situations as possible, and most of the time is go back to a more safe solution instead of having super aggressivity on, and that's the way it is. So what I was doing this morning, I'm actually hunting for very quickly for a strange thing that happened with some cars, which I still cannot figure out. The algorithm that is figuring out the braking seems to be working great for most of the cars, and then there are some cars that for some reason tend to overshoot the braking point. And again, in the search for the playing safe, you tend to hurt all the other cars braking. So yeah, I'm trying to understand. For example, the McLaren GT3 is one of these cars. I wrote a very cool thing that it was long overdue in the debug system, which is something that I call a brake profiler. What a brake profiler is pretty much giving me an output like this, which is lots of lines. But what basically this is once the AI is calculating the deceleration of the car in that part of the track, and then is detecting there is time to brake, is saving all his projection, I should say, into a buffer that is later analyzed by the car real time. And so basically what is happening here is happening that this is saying the real car is sort of saying to the AI, you thought that by this time I would be at this speed while I'm actually at this speed. You thought that by this time I would be braking with this amount of G's while I'm actually braking at this other amount of G's. So you can sort of look and see where the time between the projection and the reality, where the difference is. And in this case, the AI, of course, it's a very complex situation, because the AI can only project in the future based on the information on the spline. So what the AI sees, the AI sees a direction and also a road camber and a road grade, and it sort of analyze this and try to figure out, you know, what the speed of the car would be in the future. So it detects when it's time to brake. This is actually it's funny, because this function that actually is doing this calculation is the one that is often showing up in the profiler, performance profiler on the physics, as being one of the heaviest function that we have in Assetto Corsa from a computational point of view. So what I was saying is complicated, because I think, of course, when the eye is doing this projection, the eye doesn't really know about all the variation on the tracks, you know, the bumps, the micro bumps and things like that. And those micro bumps, they really change the load, instant load of the tire dramatically. And so so you can imagine that if the eye is thinking about a situation where this ideal car is braking on a smooth surface, so it's saying, okay, so you know, I will be able to brake with this amount of force. What is actually happening in the real simulation is that the car is bouncing around, so it can never really use, you know, it's not a flat road. So of course it's gonna, in theory, what I'm expecting is that the real car, the simulated car, will actually slow down slower, if you want, than the eye. What surprised me is the variation between different cars, which probably shouldn't, because it's a matter, even things like, you know, the dampers and the suspension on the car can make a huge difference on how that car is behaving over a bump. And so you get this situation where, for example, for this car, you end up the car end up braking in the simulator faster than it does in the projection of the AI. So one thing that I noticed is that the McLaren seems to be one of those cars that is actually able to have the initial part of the braking with the pedal all the way down. So I'm wondering if there is a problem in the algorithm that is actually calculating the braking, and I wonder if the max stopping power, which is so you have two things here. You have the amount of braking that you can do because of the tires that you have, and you have the amount of braking you can do because of the brake that you have. So you have situation and speeds and downforce level where your limit is going to be the power of your brake. So in other words, you can press the pedal all the way down and the tires will not lock. And there are other situations as the car is slowing down where you don't have the downforce anymore. So you need to have to start easing off the brake pedal. And so because your limit is now your tires, is not the braking power anymore. Anyway, let me check what the situation is at the moment. Is one of the things that makes this kind of work. Let me check if I have the audio from the desktop on, so you can hear the car, and then I will double check on the chats quickly and just tell me if the car is too loud compared to my voice. So I was saying one of the things that makes this kind of work annoying is that basically now I have to sit here waiting for this car to do an entire lap in Monza, because what we are really interested in is the braking at the end of the main straight. In 1.2 I added something that when the AI is running on the pit spline, is running at 90%, pushing at 90%, but that really doesn't change that much the situation, because we are not arriving, at 280 at this braking zone. We are arriving at much lower speed, so all the downforce is going to be completely different. So by looking at this car, as usual on the Lesmo corners, pretty much every car is braking a little bit early, not that much. Like for example, now 17 meters, which is, I think, in my opinion, if the eye can stay in about 30-40 meters, it's fine. Like for example, here in the Ascari, it was right on, like basically the braking was exactly as expected. But I'm using a brake hint on 92%, which is saying to the car to use less braking, that the projected braking should be less than what the algorithm thinks it should be. And that's what makes me think that probably could be the stopping power that is wrong. Now we are going to profile this one. Okay, so in reality this profiling doesn't tell us much, because the car was spot on with the braking. But again, I'm using 92, so I should try this test. Now I'm using shift to get more information in the log about the braking power. I should do this test again with the car at 100%. Let me just check on the chat if the car was too loud. Okay, the car is okay. Yes, Q2, you're right. The car should downshift more. It's something that that I changed in like 2 days ago, because I was doing some cars. I was changing the shifting strategy, and then it came up. We were in this stupid situation where the information for the automatic shifter, when you drive automatic in Assetto Corsa is linked to the information that we have for the AI. And so Aris was telling me that it was not good, the value that we put in the AI. We could not, you know, if you want to make it work for the player, you need to put it lower than the AI needs to go fast. So I end up splitting the value. So now you have in AI.ini you have the information for the AI, and in drivetrain.ini you have the information for the auto shifter for the player. This is not going to break mods, because the logic is that if the new section in drivetrain is found, the Assetto Corsa will use that one. If it's not found, it's going to use the one in the old place. So it's not going to break everything, any mod, but I do suggest modders to go and fix it, and so they are free to offer different strategy for AI and the player. Right, okay, so let's see what's going on with this max braking power here. Okay, so the max braking power is correctly expressed in newtons. As the variable brake, so yeah, if I want to have a better idea, I should have this in the log. And try again with the braking hint at 100%. My hope for 1.2 was to get rid of both the trail hint and the brake hint. The trail hint is not used anymore, while the experiment to get rid of the brake hint didn't really go well, for this exact reason that I'm trying to understand. I'm in my head, you know, the algorithm should work for every car, and because it's not working for every car, this brake hint is needed. Let's also start to tweak a little bit the downshift, so can already see that the car was a bit long in that part, so it's going to be probably long also in this corner here, which is also a good representation because we're getting pretty fast here, but usually the first corner in Monza is a better. You can see that it's struggling, so it's definitely arriving too fast. And of course, here at Lesmo is much better, only 11 meter early. I wonder if I think it's going to be long and wide here as well. Not really. Parabolica. Let's get ready to profile this. In theory, it will be long. Start the profiling. Yeah, it's long. still does it, but it's not a huge mistake, but okay, so let's try to see what's the situation. Interesting that the first step, the real car, is brakes faster. Okay, so let me see. It's pretty much oscillating a lot, as you would imagine. So you have one situation where the real car was actually braking harder than the projection, and one situation where the projection, the car was not braking as hard as expected. In general, it looks like in this first part the real car is lower, and then what is happening is at the very end, the real car becomes slower in slowing down. So what I'm saying, I know it's complicated to follow, but what I'm saying is that, let's say for example, so we started braking at 260 kilometers per hour, and up to 135, the real car was actually slowing down better than what the AI thought it was possible. Then what is happening is that the real car start to slow down worse than expected. Like for example, by the time we get at around 100 kilometers per hour, so the AI was expecting to be at 100 kilometers per hour. The real car was 101, and the last part of our profiling give us the virtual car, a huge difference here, where the virtual car is a 78 and the real car is a 84. That to me looks like the problem is not in the straight part of the braking, where the AI is actually being too conservative in the guesstimate, but is in the part where the car is turning in. And we can see here that, for example, when we lose let's get, okay, for example, this, okay, of course, again, these are instant sampling, so it's not really representative of what happened in those meters. At a certain situation, the real car was pushing something like 1.1 lateral G, 1.3 lateral G, 1.6 lateral G, and the AI was expecting to be pulling 1.2 G, 1 G in that part. And so what is happening is that because the AI was expecting to pull less G in that particular part of the track, the AI thinks in that particular part of the track, because less lateral G, it thinks it can it can slow down more. So yeah, very tricky, very tricky. And I don't think there is much I can do about it. Because if I that's the problem, you know. If I start, put this back up. If I start caring too much about this and write code to fix this, then I will load up another car that tends to brake too early, and what I thought I would fix here, I will break the other car. I think that the reality of things is that the physics is so complicated to predict that you know, I think I have to live with the hints. There isn't much I can do about it. I think it can be a little bit more aggressive on the downshift. A little bit more. Okay, so what I can do now is try to have a race with this car and see. Actually, before having a race, let me check, because I have my list, and the tester told me that this car is failing at Mugello. So before I try a race, let's try if the car is still failing at Mugello, because if it does, we have a bigger problem. Actually, when you look at the brake profiler, it's amazing how close it gets to guess. But you know, it's also true that when you are trying to get these guys to be as fast as possible, 1 kilometer per hour, 2 kilometers per hour, it's huge. Sliding a lot. Yeah, it's sliding a lot. Again, this is the new code for making the AI more aligned to to the player. So said that the problem was a bushine, which could be this one. I don't really know the name of the. Or could be this one. Okay. So, from the look of it, is not incredibly fast, I think. But it looks like the beta tester, they didn't test this exact version. The test is from more than 1 week ago. Okay, so it's not failing, but it doesn't look incredibly fast to me. So let's have a race in Mugello with them and see how they're doing from a performance point of view. I'm at 96%. Ah, shit. Wrong cars. I give myself the McLaren and I give them the road Nissan GTR. Not really fair. We go again. Still think that probably the line in Mugello is using too much curbs. I'm not sure that this kind of cars use this much curb. Right, okay, so soft tires and about 20 liters. I think I never drove this car in Assetto Corsa. I have absolutely no idea. And Mugello is one of the tracks that I drive less, so I would expect to be 2 or 3 seconds off the pace compared to them, at least in qualify. It's not flat, this one. There we go. It's also I prefer to be slower than them because you suck. Because it gives me the possibility to test the overtake. Okay, so let's see, for example, if this idiot passed me. Yes, he does. Good boy. If I can, yeah, I can see that he's low here. It's not super fast. It's a weird car. It's got a very strange turn in, and then it turns, and then it doesn't turn anymore, and then it turns again. Yeah, Mr. Carlos Lugo doesn't look super fast to me. Although, yeah, now he's now he's killing me. Whoa! Will I be able to manage a lap? On this car? Too fast. I really don't know anything about this truck and car. Come on, Stefano. I know you're tired. Just a clean lap. Very peculiar car. Lots of turning. Yeah. No. Don't believe. I thought I was going out again. That was a crappy lap, and I'm 4 seconds, almost 5 seconds off the pace with the pole. But if I manage to get used to the turn-in of this car, which is super weird. I think I should be able to take at least a couple of seconds off, not 5. I can see why the AI was sliding around now. It does have a weird front end, this car. Here in the Arrabbiata is so scary. Because it will, yeah, it tends to it tends to spin there. You wouldn't expect it. You would expect here too is oversteering everywhere. I think could use a little setup adjustment. They're not very fast. I'm going for 53 easily. I'm still driving like an idiot. And they're doing 50. $53.5. Don't slide. It's like it's like I don't have the rear tires. Oh. I won't be able to finish this lap. I mean, to do another lap, and I'm slow here, so let's just move on. What's that? Okay. So we put medium. Let me see if I can do something very quickly to the suspension. And do I have a wing for this? Okay, give me a bit more rear wing, so hopefully I don't spin out in arrabbiato. Let's hope I didn't. I don't know if I put fuel. Oh shit. I don't know if I created understeer, an understeer show here now. We will see. Yeah, well behaving a race start, which is always good news because yesterday I did from 7 in the morning to pretty much midnight with AI unable to start a race without creating huge accidents. So I did some changes late at night at 10 o'clock, and so we got this situation which creates a little bit more boring race, but there you go, you really don't want the AI to commit suicide. So as usual, race start, the AI is low. Not really that low. I mean, it's something that happens in real life. Yesterday, because when you have to deal with a car in front of you and a car behind you, it's not the same as just going for it. Yesterday I was watching, as usual, I really love before sleeping to watch empty box races, and he did this amazing race where he was in first position from beginning to end with a car at less than 1 second behind him. And you could see that every time the guy behind him actually attacked him, and they had to do different line, and they were losing 1 second a lap in those situations. The car is definitely much better now. It's not super fast, but I can drive it. I don't feel like it wants to slide away from me everywhere. So let's see. That's the point of a setup, really. It's not just about making it fast. It's making it so that you can drive it. Just allow you to drive it. Say, now here I am totally confident. I go inside the corner knowing that the car will not slide. It could be that the first couple of times that I spun, I ruined my tires. That's another possibility, and that's why I had the car sliding around everywhere. Okay, so they are not giving me 3 seconds a lap. Still, I don't think 55 is a good lap for the eye. Let's see what is the rhythm here. 53. Sorry. The eye was running at 50. I thought I became a phenomenon immediately, and that we were running 2 seconds faster than qualify, but no, it's just me being silly and tired. They are slowly in this initial part of the track. I think I'm gaining something, but then, especially here they look so fast. I have to slow down a lot, and I try to be as fast as them. Right, okay, so looks to me like the car is doing what it should do. I just want to show you something else that is cool, and that we did with Simone yesterday, and then we will go into Q&A. That's basically what I'm going to do all day. Driving, try to go through this list. This list is the beta testing, or beta testing, don't know how the hell you say it, with the basically telling me which cars have problems. So these red cars have problems. Most of them are fixed, so I'm left with the McLaren was, and I know already that it's Honda and the Cobra works, so I should be okay with failing. Failing means they are not able to complete a lap in qualify. That's interesting. That wasn't. I forgot to put this red. This is important. The M3 E30 DTM failing at Monza. But I suspect it's the same problem with everybody. So, talking about Monza, one thing that I asked Simone to do yesterday, I noticed that most of the TV camera sets that we have are incredibly spectacular, very, very nice to take screenshots, and not really, I want to race, to take screenshots and watch very, very cool angles. But when it comes to try to watch a race and understand what is happening in the race, they don't really work well. So I asked him as an experiment to try to do a set that is somehow more similar to what you will get on TV, and this is what we got, which I think is fantastic. So it's a AI race. Let me get rid of the names. And hopefully Simone is super busy trying to finish Barcelona in time, but hopefully he will be able to to do this also for the other tracks, because I just loved. Yesterday I spent a long time actually watching AI races from this camera. It makes a huge difference in because the point is that when you are watching a race, you really don't care about how cool the rims are on a particular car. You want to, what you really want to see is the space relationship between the car, you know, how far they are, what lines they are driving, and so on. Eventually, when I will have the leaderboard working in replay, you know, this is going to be cool. This is something that I love. I still remember the first year that I got Formula One by Geoff Crammon. I was just sitting there watching. Boom! That's a typical accent that happened at Ascari with the AI. So yeah, you can see it, all the movements. I hope you can see it in 240. The AI is moving around a lot more. Now the player car, this yellow car, it got this huge accident and is going to be slow on the main straight, and hopefully the other guys will pass him. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's gonna hurt. That's okay. But yeah, super cool. I love this new camera set. Can't wait to get it also on other tracks. It looks absolutely awesome, and it just gives, you know, your race replay a totally different feel, and very cool. Right, okay, so let's move to the chat. Let's do this usual 20-30 minutes Q&A if you have questions before I go back. Is it possible to add warm-up session before the race session? Yes, it shouldn't be that difficult, because actually the server, the warm-up is really a practice. The server used to work in a similar way to the software, so you can put like session_0 and what kind of session you want, that's session_1, and what it is. On the server, I just wanted to simplify a bit, especially before I got the server launcher. But yeah, basically the server works like the client in reality. It's got a list of sessions, and it doesn't care what is what, so it shouldn't be that difficult to add that in the future. You said Caterham is your favorite car. Have you tried? No, I haven't tried. I watched some YouTube videos, but I'm definitely gonna try it. Is the new AI laser scan? I really don't want to have how many pages is this silly 41 pages of silliness. Yes, the AI is laser scan. Absolutely, everything is laser scan. What did you revert in the AI to not make them crash at the start of the race? I just told them they have to keep more distance with the car in the front, and also the way they were keeping distance with the car in the front is different. Before they were just saying, saying if I have a guy in front of me and I'm faster than this guy, then and I'm closer than the minimum distance, then slow down. So imagine the situation where if I got, let's say that my maximum distance is 10 meters, and I get within 5 meters of this guy, and so the algorithm will tell me, oh, you're too close, you need to slow down. And then I slow down and I go exactly at the same speed as this guy, but now I am 5 meters from him, and that will create problem next time we go and brake, because sometimes the AI is not able to react quickly enough to a guy braking in front of him. So what is happening now is basically saying, no, it doesn't matter if you're slower or you're faster. If I decide that my safe distance is 10 meters, you have to be at 10 meters. So that's it. What Nicola Larini said about the Alfa Romeo, oh my God, I cannot say that. But if you come visit Kunos Simulazione in Vallelunga and we get some wine, I will tell you nice stories about that. When you were driving at Mugello, had curbs of that big fix look kind of slippy? Actually, I spun twice at the second Arrabbiata, and the first time I spun on the curb, and the second time I spun in the middle of the track. So I think it was more the car and the driver that was not good. That's why it was slippy. I literally, I think it probably my second time of driving the McLaren. I don't know the car a lot. And for the race, I did some adjustment to make the car a little bit more understeering, and I felt much more confident on the curbs. I'm amazed nobody asked for the release date yet. Well, because I think probably they know already that we don't have an answer. All I know is that at the moment we're not looking good, and it's mostly because of the AI. But again, yesterday at 2 in the afternoon I was totally desperate. Today, as you could see, the AI was sort of working. So will the GT86 have an S1? I don't think so. Let me check. I don't think so. I think Aris did the OD4 variant, but not the GT86. If I can read it. What the hell? No, there is only one at the moment. But I said in the last thing that I basically stop him from doing S versions of the car, because I want to come up with a proper system to do it. Do the AI use the default car setups? They can have dedicated setup if they are found in the proper folder. So if the AI finds a dedicated setup in the folder, it will use that one. Otherwise, it will use the default setup. Again, that's a huge area where it's possible to improve. One thing that I suggest you, if you want to have fun with the AI, treat it as a fixed setup multiplayer race, where you are not allowed to change things apart from tires, because that will give you a more fair challenge. If you go in Monza and you start to do a dedicated setup for Monza, it becomes too easy to win. So at the end, you won't challenge. Of course, if there are situations where you see that they are faster than you anyway, like it happened in the race I did right now, where in the qualify I was more than 3 seconds, I said, well, okay, I will just do this couple of adjustments, so at least the car is a little bit easier to drive, but it's not that I change stuff like taking wings off in Monza. Thanks for the AI start fix yesterday. Does it affect their overall overtaking capabilities in race? I have no idea. You know, just for fun, let's try. I didn't do this test since the new things that I added yesterday. You know, the same silly test that I did last time with an Abarth and together with other cars, faster cars, and let's see what happens. Let's see if it's still working, or if I created a situation where they pile up. Again, I don't really care. I mean, yeah, you know, of course I don't like when I see silly videos on YouTube. But you know, the point is that this is not something that is supported in any way. But it's that looked incredibly stupid. I don't know if it came out in 240p. The wobbling that the AI is doing when coming out with the 500 is just stupid. Yeah, so immediately we got an accident. But the interaction between the pit lane, the pit line, and the normal line is always tricky. So let's see what's happening in a real situation here. Regardless of what happens, really, my suggestion is don't do it. Don't do multi-class. You know, you're asking for troubles. Actually, we talk about what we could do in the launcher to stop this, and I think Aris started to work. Oh, that was nice. That was nice. You see, it didn't really think that much about it. It just went for it, changed lane, and passed. The more, as in reality, the more you're close to a corner. There you go. That's very dangerous here. See, the more you're close to a corner, the more the situation get dangerous. This is interesting. Let's see if it's passing here. Camera switch. Yeah, that's still passing. So I think it's still, you know, still good. It's still good. You know, actually, I think they look better than last time. Actually, apart from the crash that we had with the first car. The way they move, which is also, you know, you can imagine yesterday was like one of those coding sessions that really literally went on from 7 o'clock to midnight, and I was eating here. I was eating here while watching the AI and shouting at them, you know, why are you so stupid? I mean, don't this camera look just amazing? I think they really do look amazing. They just give a totally different view on the race. Cool. cool. So yeah, let's say that still working. Multi-class is not laser scan. No, it's not. I want sector times to pop up like they do when I watch Formula One. Yes, Katzman, me too. Ketzman. Ketzaman. Katzman in Italian will be such a bad word. Yeah, me too. Actually, I want more than that. I would really like, and it was my plan for 1.2, and sadly, here we are, and we need to move it for next time. I wanted to have a leaderboard with the sector times, like, you know, if you ever follow Formula One on formula1.com, that kind of thing. Yeah, I like it. Any plans for more realistic PP filter? No, I don't know. I don't work on those things. So, not all racers in multiplayer get checker flag. Is this the bug? No idea. Unless there is a very consistent way to reproduce it. No idea. If the AI can calculate where to brake, can we have a dynamic racing line where well, the line is not really calculated, because that's all another branch of research that I never wanted to get into, because yeah, it will open another huge amount of problems. The problem with the AI is that they use the spline as a reference point of where they are on a track. So it's essential they all work on the same spline. So adding another spline could mean giving a lot of overhead in CPU. Speaking of PP filter, has the default filter had a blurriness fixed? I don't know what. I don't know. Sorry, I no idea about these things. It's just one of those features that for me don't even exist, so I cannot comment in an intelligent way. You know, I just wrote the possibility to do the PP filter, but I'm not actually working on those. So. Is somebody been lapped? Well, okay, I will double check that. Can you pass this to Aris to take a look at the Gazoo Racing 86 spec series? Yes, of course I can. Can we have sectors times in multiplayer? Get some money, same answer as I gave before. What's your favorite improvement in the coming update? Yeah, man, no idea. You know, for the amount of time that I put in it, the AI, but you know, I know very well where it's failing and where it's got problems, so I cannot say that I'm happy about it. So I'm happy that is a good step forward, but it's nowhere where I want it to be. In your case, it's last try in qualify session. Well, that's I'm happy because, you know, it's one of those things that don't take that much effort and make people happy. It was there in single player anyway, so it's not yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, in development, when you develop games, you have two different classes of problems. You have problems that you know very well have a solution, and it's a solution that everybody knows, and you have problems that don't have a known solution, so you have to sit down and figure out what the solution is, and those are the ones that give you, when people ask, you know, how long it's going to take, I have no idea. It could take forever. So, but luckily these kind of things qualify, and all those things, it's a more predictable. Are you going to show the new server plugin? Leonardo, there isn't much more to show than what I did last time, because my plugin doesn't do anything. It just prints out stuff. Then now it's up to the guys that will write plugins to do something smart with it. And I already gave them an example. They already came up with a good suggestion of what to add, and I'll try to add it before it gets released. You know, things like be able to kick people from the plugin. Any plans to add the Ariel Atom to Assetto Corsa? I don't know. I don't know. Can we have different tracks layout grouped by location in the UI? Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, and something to think about for the next version, especially because I want to tracks like Silverstone and all the tracks that have different layout to work like Vallelunga with the new system. So the UI should be able to group those. Any plans for per car odometer? No, but I think it's a very cool little feature. Of course, in Assetto Corsa, it's going to be text. So, you know, if you want to brag with your friends that you did 1 million kilometers, you know, you can just put 1 million in the text file and you're done. Yeah, the server launcher changed, but again, you know, it's nothing really fancy. It's just still a Windows interface. What the surface temperature will be? +10 from the ambient temperature. No, it's basically you can you have a range. You can say, well, my room temperature is going to be from this to this plus the ambient temperature. So every time a session starts, it will be different. Do we have a community app? Do we have a community app to do that? I don't. We do have a community app to do that. Ah, okay. It was an answer to. To the odometer. Ah, okay. Got you. It's okay. It's how long we've been streaming. It was my plan to make this stream a little bit shorter than the other. Well, we are already 1 hour and 15 minutes. So when the update will hit your computer? As soon, you know, it doesn't suck as much as it was sucking yesterday. Ethan, there is no problem with Pitstops. Ethan just arrived and is asking, what's the problem with the pit stop? Nothing, it was just a silly picture that I did yesterday morning. Does the game use the same mesh for rendering the track and doing the physics, or is something more detailed? No, well, you can decide. You can have a physics mesh, or you can have the same mesh that is used to render. Our tracks have a physics mesh, so our tracks are not driving on the same mesh that is used for rendering. What's the story behind the cat in the Kunos logo? Kunos used to be my cat long time ago, when I was a teenager, and you know, we had really special bonding. He was a Siamese cat, and as soon the internet hit me and I started to exist on the internet, I immediately choose Kunos as my nickname, so it just went on and on. When do you plan to have kids? I don't like kids, so, and I'm lucky enough to have a wife that doesn't like kids that much, so she's not pressuring me at all. I saw a Ferrari Formula One in, when we can get that car? No idea. No idea. No idea. How about a look to apex setting, so the driver looks a little bit into the corner? I don't like that. I hate that. It's I think sim racing is difficult enough, and if you start to add things that are arbitrarily changing your point of view and rotating your point of view when your car is not rotating, it becomes really complicated to go fast. So, do we have plans for LMP1 cars? I don't know about plans, about cars. You know, the only thing that I care about is the Ferrari 250 GTO, which is not coming at the moment. So that's the only one that I care about. Can we see a lap of Zandvoort? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's do it very quickly. With the GT86. Okay, let's have a quick lap. It's not a track that I know very well, and it's very tricky, incredibly tricky, and very tight. So, yeah, not a track that the AI will love. Oh, did I put a race? Yeah, I did put a race. So stupid. I will have to wait for the lights. Ah, no, okay. It's not a race. Good enough. Oh, let me have fun, bro. Let me put street tires, otherwise the car is too stable. Eco tires. There you go. Let's burn some tires. There is a fantastic corner here, and it's a very fast corner with the GT86. Sort of lift off a little bit. This is flat with the slick. There you go. This one. I love this one. No, it's not this one. It's this one. Let's hope I don't die with these tires. Yeah. Great corner. I'm not good like Haris. I cannot really drift. Here there is a S. Terrible S. Come on, slide. Oh! And we're back on the main straight. It's nice. It's got Simone, I think, did cut some grass. The first time that I tried, the grass was huge. Slide. Too much. That's it. I made a fool of myself as usual. My wife is asking me if yellow cup pizza is okay. To under 40p is not laser scan. That's why it looks so good. Your headset is laser scan. Yeah, it's a very goofy headset. But I did some tests. I think this mic is better than the mic that I was using. In the last one that I did. So I also got a gay white one to try next time. Will you be making the force feedback changes mentioning adjustable or reversible? Force feedback in Assetto Corsa doesn't have parameters, basically, apart from the fake effect that, for example, I don't use. Of course, I call it fake, but in the UI they are called enhancements. But for me, they're crap. But so I don't use it. So the force feedback is coming from the physics, and so you cannot adjust the physics. If you want to adjust the physics, you adjust the suspension of the car, because that's where the force feedback is coming from. It's not, there is no parameter. It's straight from that. There is only a number that is multiplying. To give and scale it back into a range that fits into the range of a steering wheel. Don't try the white headset. It's like, it looks terrible. But it's Logitech, so it ought to be good. Am I a fan of American tracks? The one that I don't like those American tracks very wide and flat, although they're very bumpy. Things like I don't know, Sebring. I get lost. I cannot see the track. I love what is called now Sonoma, that had so many different names. I remember loving it in NASCAR 2003. So that's one that I really love. Once a track is scanned, how long does it take to make? It depends. It depends on the track, because if it is something like the Ring, it takes 6 months. So it also depends on how many things are around the track. So if you're doing a city track, if you're doing something like Macau or Singapore or Monte Carlo, you have lots of buildings to model. It takes longer. Why project cars are so simple physics? You can run on grass like on asphalt. I think that's not an indication of simple physics. That's a game design decision. A bit like a game design decision that personally I don't like in Assetto Corsa, to have the grass slowing you down. So it's always it's always, as sim racers, sometimes we tend to forget that these are still games, and if you make something that is too frustrating to use, not many people, as we think, like challenges. I'll give you an example. I've been a flying simulator fan since the beginning of computer. That's really the thing that brought me to DPC, and eventually to even to sim racing and to do this job. It was the passion for games like Falcon 2, Falcon 3, and so on. So I always been into flying simulation. Even when me and Marco, we went to do a test flight with a super light airplane, and basically in my flight, literally, I did the test flight all by myself, and the instructor just took the plane literally 20 meters from the ground. Because for me, after so many hours in flying simulation, it was a bit like going on the track with a car for the first time. I was just there. But then to come to the point, after all this experience, I downloaded the DCS flight simulator on Steam. And you load up the first time and you go like, okay, how to start this thing? I have no idea. And then you go like, okay, so this has got like a 50 points starting list to get this plane started. So after trying to click things randomly all over the cockpit, I gave up and went to the YouTube video and say, okay, let's see how to do this thing. So I managed to turn this thing off, and after 20 minutes I was taxiing finally. And then you realize that you have one brake for your left wheel and one brake for your right wheel. And then I pressed the brake too hard, and the plane just, went nose into the ground, and that's it. And and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm not gonna buy this thing. And that's me. I've been into flight simulator forever, and I think it's very important, to understand that we're still doing games. But again, I some months ago I tried Netcar, and I put one tire on the grass, and whoosh, the car just slipped, and I was like, wow, this is great. We should have this in Assetto Corsa. It's much better than what we have right now. Well, there you go. Okay, guys, I think I'll close it for today. Sorry, I won't be, because I really got so much things to do. try to get this thing done as quickly as possible so you can drive it and I can have some, break from it. My plan is to do a stream. Stefano, the point is to make AC as realistic as possible or as fun as possible. I think you can make it fun and realistic at the same time. You just need to be careful to not include things that in real life will make you mad. Because in real life, I gave the example of the puncture if you go on the grass. At a certain point, I had this feature where you go on the grass and you could get puncture. But imagine the situation where you're racing with the AI or with somebody else, and somebody else pushes you into the grass. You go into the grass, and maybe because somebody pushed you, and then you get even more punishment because you get a puncture. You will start, you will get a gun and will go out killing somebody probably. I don't want you guys to kill anybody. My plan is to have next stream this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, I don't know. But just be aware, the stream is not going to be working on Assetto Corsa. It's still going to be on programming, but I think I did 5 or 6 weekends in a row, and I really need a break. So next weekend, no idea what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something alternative in programming, or whether it is related or not to Assetto Corsa, I don't know, but it's going to be something silly, just to have a laugh. And just be aware of that. And we will still have a question and answer session at the beginning, at the end for next week. So as usual, thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much if you're watching this, you got this far, watching it on YouTube as recorded. And see you next time. Ciao.